Creativity is often perceived as something reserved for an artistic expression. However, it is a critical skill when it comes to problem solving, innovation, and adapting to change. In your career and even in your daily life, being creative means you have the ability to navigate complex situations and deal with them effectively. Today, we are going to learn about how to cultivate a creative mindset based on the insights I derived from two books. The one is from the legendary music producer Rick Rubin. It's called The Creative Act, A Way of Being, and the second one is called Range from David Epstein. Furthermore, we are going to discuss how to structure a creative process based on the insights derived from the works of different scholars that include the combinatorial theory of creativity, the flow theory, and the system mode of thinking. We will conclude by discussing different practical strategies to become more creative in our lives. Let's lift your creativity to the next level. Before diving into the details, let's understand first what creativity actually means. Creativity is the ability to generate ideas, solutions, and products that are both novel and appropriate. It is a process that involves combining or reimagining existing concepts in unique ways. Rick Rubin is perhaps one of the most creative people in the world. He has worked with almost all the great artists, music producers, and has shared his insights in his book which came out last year. I have derived 10 key insights from this book which I would like to share with you. Art is not just about creating material items. It is a deeper attempt to explore and share the unseen, the inner landscapes of a creator. Rubin advocates for authenticity in creative work. He believes what makes art great is the personal touch, the unique perspective of a creator. He warns against creating art that other people want because it lacks that revolutionary impact. Establishing a disciplined lifestyle and routine paradoxically offers more freedom and creativity. Discipline harmonizes one's relationship with time. Incorporate habits like exposure to sunlight, meditation, exercise, and cold showers to foster a more conducive environment for creativity. True art transcends ego and a desire for approval. It's about bringing one's full self to the project and aiming for personal definitions of excellence. Sharing art changes our relationship with it, exposing doubts and opening avenues for improvement. Feedback should be considered more as a reflection of the giver than the art itself. Criticism should be used as a new way to engage with the work, whether by affirming one's stance or realizing areas for overlooked improvement. Truly innovative art will divide opinion. The true measure of its success is the creator's satisfaction and adherence to their own standards. Art is a form of self-expression, a method of communication across time and language barriers. It's a compelling commitment to express oneself and add beauty to the world. Rubin emphasizes the importance of total focus and complete dedication in any creative endeavor. He advocates for immersing oneself completely in the project, free from any distractions, to achieve a deeper level of creativity and innovation. Now, I would like to share 4 characteristics of creative individuals derived from the book Range by David Epstein. University of Utah's researchers find serial innovators to be individuals with a high tolerance of ambiguity, thinking in systems, and acquiring knowledge from peripheral domains. These individuals excel in synthesizing diverse information, combining unrelated concepts, and maintaining a wide range of interests. They have an insatiable need to learn across different domains and have the ability to communicate ideas with experts from different fields. A creative contribution in any field requires interest beyond the field itself. Broad interest fuel insights beyond the domain-specific knowledge. Other than the insights we just discussed from these 2 books, there are still a few more ways to cultivate a creative mindset. Growth mindset, a concept popularized by Carol Dweck, is a belief that abilities, including creativity, can be developed This mindset encourages resilience and the ability to experiment and learn from failure, especially in creative endeavors where the chances of failure are fairly high. Openness to experiences correlates strongly with creativity. It involves willingness to entertain novel ideas and seek out new experiences. Traveling, experimenting with new hobbies, or even engaging with art and literature could really fuel your creative process. Creativity often starts with ideation, a process of generating a lot of ideas without judgment. Mind mapping and brainstorming could be really useful techniques to do that. Divergent thinking, a strategy where you explore as many solutions as possible, is key during this phase. It's quantity over quality, knowing that refinement comes later. After the ideation, creative work requires convergence. It is the part of the process where critical thinking comes into play, evaluating and refining the ideas to find the best possible solution. It involves being constructively critical and often requires collaboration and feedback from others to gain new perspectives. Let's look at some of the work and theories of distinguished scholars who have worked on the topic of creativity. Dean Keith Simonton is a prominent psychologist and professor who has made significant contributions to the field of creativity. His work primarily focuses on the psychology of genius, creativity, and leadership. Simonton views creativity as a combinatorial process. This perspective is rooted in what he calls blind variation and selective retention model, which essentially means that creative ideas emerge from pre-existing concepts and ideas by combining them in a novel way. This process is partly random, generating a lot of ideas but only keeping those that are useful. This theory echoes the evolutionary process of natural selection. Simonton believes that chance and serendipity play a huge role in the creative process. He argues that a lot of new ideas actually emerge from unseen combinations of existing concepts. This perspective highlights the importance of being open to new experiences so that we can explore new combinations of ideas. Simonton's research also supports the 10-year rule, a concept suggesting that a decade of practice is required to achieve high levels of performance in any field, including creativity. Csikszentmihalyi's greatest contribution to the area of creativity is the concept of flow, a state of heightened focus and immersion in activities. He believes that flow is crucial for creativity and well-being. Flow occurs when a person engages with a challenging task but which matches their current skill level, thus leading to higher satisfaction and engagement. He proposes that creativity results from an interaction of a person's thought and a socio-cultural context. Thus, creativity is not just only an individual's phenomena, but it involves social, cultural, and environmental factors. Teresa Amabile suggests that creativity involves three components: expertise, creative thinking skills, and task motivation. Importantly, intrinsic motivation is seen as more conducive to creativity compared to external motivation. She emphasizes how certain work environments can stimulate creativity or inhibit it. Support, autonomy, and resources could help us to foster creativity, while excessive pressure or overly rigid structures will stifle it. To make creative content, I start by listing out all the topics that I'm interested in. Then I go and do research. I read books. I take the highlights from the books I have read, go to podcasts, and search the internet basically, and derive key insights from all those different sources. Then I start writing the script. It takes me many days and different drafts before I have a final version. It is important for me that I have practical strategies in all of my content so that people can take it and really deploy and benefit from it in their own lives. This whole process takes me more than 30 hours per video. half of that time is almost used for constructing the structure, deriving the insights and practical strategies that I would like to communicate. And then the next part is filming and editing, which takes about like 50% of the time. And then I have a final product which I present to you. The main point in my creative process is that I create different iterations of the content or any kind of other work I do in my own projects. The first version is not going to be great, but the sixth or seventh one, definitely. Then it's shaped up properly, and now I can finalize it and then release it. Now let's look at some of the practical strategies that could help us to become more creative. Engage in tasks that balance challenge and skill level. They should not be too easy, thus leading to boredom, or they should not be too hard, causing anxiety. Set clear goals, seek immediate feedback, and remove all kinds of distractions to enhance focus and engagement in creative activities. In workplaces, cultivate an atmosphere which values creativity, provides autonomy, and encourages you to take risks without a fear of failure. Recognize and value a diverse form of creativity and information in yourself and others. Engage in learning and creative pursuits that are driven by personal interest and passion and not given to you by society or some other person. Today's exploration is more than just about creativity. It's a blueprint for transforming how we think, innovate, and work. By incorporating these elements that we discussed today, not only you will enhance your creative abilities, but you will also create a life of innovation and boundless potential. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the content, then click on that subscribe button and you will get more creative content. Cheers.